Hi, Lyle Hill for USGNN. I'm with Scott Thompson, president of Guardian's Glass Group. We're at the BEC conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. Scott, thanks for taking some time out for me today. I appreciate it.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. And let me first of all compliment you on an outstanding presentation. And I want to ask you a few questions about some of the things you said.
Okay, fire away.
Great. First of all, the title of the session was called The Battle for the Wall. Explain that.
Well, a little bit. I think we're in Vegas, so when you're in Vegas, you know, that's a big fight city.
Right.
So they have all the big boxing matches. I'd say the other thing is that sometimes I think the glass industry is too passive. We sit back and we watch events unfold that hurt the glass industry. So to me, this is a battle for the facade to have as much glass as possible and fight off alternative building materials that are trying to, let's say, invade the glass space.
Take the place of glass.
Replace glass. And I think what magnifies the problem is when commercial building drops so much.
Yes.
After 2008, everybody's fighting in a smaller market space. And so you can beat up on each other or, you know, really understand who's the true competitor and sell against solid surface materials.
Yes.
So it's who do you pick your battles with?
Talk about the European model. You got into this quite a bit, and I was fascinated by some of your comments. The Europeans are ahead of us, I think, in facade development.
Yes.
In particularly when it comes to energy. The triple glazed unit, which you talked about. This is a predominant method in Europe. We've seen very little of it here. Yes. You've made the comment that it's coming here, and we better get ready for it. Talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Okay. Well, I think, you know, in Europe we track energy codes in the U.S., Europe, all around the world, because in research and development we have to develop codings for the different parts of the world. And as part of our, if you want to call it, energy code road mapping, we've developed a correlation that Europe is about 5 to 7 years ahead of the U.S.
Okay.
So where the new IGCC or the ASHRAE codes are today, Europe was there 5 years before. So I think they naturally get to new facade technologies like triple glaze, double skin facades because their codes are much more aggressive.
Demanding it.
And the enforcement is there because you have to have the piece of paper. So I think as long as they lead, we'll continue to see the technologies lag in North America.
Yeah, Lyle Hill for USGNN, and I'm here with David Spooner. And Dave, you are with the law firm of?
Squire Sanders.
Squire Sanders, and you're out of their Washington, D.C. office.
I am.
You've just made an outstanding presentation at the BEC conference here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Thank you.
And the topic of that, of course, was the what I'll call anti-dumping situation as it relates to Chinese aluminum extruders.
Yes, yes.
And the tariffs that have been imposed there upon them.
Yes.
Give us, if you can, just a very brief history of what this entire situation is about.
Sure. Yeah, it's a long and convoluted case, but the 15-second version is that back in 2010, U.S. aluminum extruders petitioned the government to get unfair trade tariffs on imports from China and won. And since that 2010 case, there have been fights and confusion over exactly what those tariffs cover. And a few months ago, several curtain wall unit producers got together and asked the U.S. government to clarify whether or not those tariffs cover curtain wall units, and the government agreed that they do.
In a broad brush approach, there are those who would say that the free market system, as we practice it here in the United States, should not have things such as tariffs and anti-dumping laws, because in a true free market situation, whatever the cost is, it is. And there are even those that would argue and say, we've maintained our standard of living in the United States partially because of the ability of other countries to produce products and ship them to us at a price that's cheaper than what we could produce them for.
That's a great question, Lyle. As you can imagine, in the trade remedy bar or the trade bar, that's the big theological question that people debate all the time. And I think the short answer to that is that's true when there's not unfair trade, so to speak.
Exactly.
But when a foreign government gives subsidies, or when a foreign company sells a product in the United States at below the cost of production, folks who support the trade remedy law would say it's actually sort of pro-free market to challenge those trade distorting behaviors.
I'm standing with Ed Zauka. We're at the BEC conference in Las Vegas. Ed's the CEO of APG International. I've asked Ed to spend just a few minutes with us. You listened to the Scott Thompson presentation this morning.
I did.
And he talks a little bit about this collaborative effort among all parties in the glazing industry, because the enemy is not, the competitor is not who we think it is.
Correct.
It's the brick guy, it's the masonry guy, it's the competitor who takes part of the wall, the facade, away from the glazier.
I wholeheartedly agree with what his presentation is. So we do need to collaborate. Our company tends to collaborate with a lot of businesses worldwide, and that's why we have the global reputation that we do. We have offices around the world, so we become very familiar with parts and products and new technologies and innovations that are available worldwide. And we collaborate with architects, frankly, and construction managers in typically what we call a design assist role to show them how to bring those products into a project that they're looking to use them on, and it works very well. So the challenge...
So not a new concept to you whatsoever?
None whatsoever.
Collaborative effort.
No.
Scott talked about the European influence. Europe is 5 years ahead of us, meaning North America, in product development, technology use. Do you agree with that? Is that a fair assessment about?
No.
No?
It's probably 10 or 15.
10 or 15.
So,
very interesting.
So we see that generally European technologies take 10 or 15 years before they migrate over to the United States here. So it's been a challenge, and one that we hope to try to shorten.
Ed has hinted at some very exciting news for the glass industry in North America, and it has to do with Glass Performance Days. And we understand there's a chance that GPD might be coming to the United States soon, and would you like to comment on that?
Yes, certainly. That's our idea to do it this one 2014 in here, and we are looking for that one now. And Ed has been the big help in that one, and try to put everything together. So I'm planning to go from here to Philadelphia to see that what sort of the possibilities we have it.
Very good. So we're talking 2014. Ed's already let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. And Ed, I think you said those dates were tentatively
July 7th to July 14th in Philadelphia at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. So.
And you heard it here first. This is exciting news. Standing with Bill Yannick, Executive Director of the Glass Association of North America. Bill, you were standing just off to the side here when Jorma and Ed made the announcement that GPD is coming to the United States, Philadelphia. It looks like July 2014. I know Ghana will plan on being a big part of that, and I'm pretty excited about this, and I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, and so are we. And as you probably know, GPD Finland and GPD in other parts of the world, GNA technical expertise is heavily involved, whether it's our technical resource or our technical director, Irmela Sowell, or a number of our division leaders and our committee leaders. They're always actively involved in the GPD technical program, and I think that'll fit really nicely in Philadelphia.
It will, and this announcement is actually coming from BEC in Las Vegas, and let me congratulate you on an absolutely wonderful program.
Oh, great.
Today was exciting, it was informative, it was well run as usual, and can't say enough about what a great program you guys produce.